My phone died. I feel naked.
All right. Hey, Girl Leader Lounge. Welcome to our day 5 of our momentum moment. And I brought a friend. Guys, you know what? Here's the thing. And this actually flows together fairly well with our whole like getting into momentum and the tip that we want to share today, because I want to talk about why it's important to share the business with other people. And I thought, what a better way to present this to you than to do it with someone, because guess what? This business is fun, but it gets so much better when you have people to do it with you. If you guys haven't met my awesome friend, this is Marge Martens. She is a diamond. She lives in Lacrete, Alberta. And we're just going to talk to you guys about sharing the business. You guys, you got to do it. That's the big tip for today. You have to be willing to share with other people what you're doing so that they have the opportunity to do it too.
That's really good, Janelle. I've been thinking of a couple things as you were talking about doing this series in your team page, and I'm like, oh, that's so good. Something I should look into as well, because exactly like you said, and now you've got my brain share this opportunity, probably like about 80% of what. I quickly back down a memory lane a little bit, and I came in and I ran with the products. I wanted everybody to feel better, but guess what, guys? I created a team of sick people that were relying on me. I kind of missed the largest chunk of the good stuff of someone who also wanted to run with the business because of her reasons, not because of mine, but because of her. So I don't know. Did you want me to like go into a couple things that brought to mind right away?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Before you do that, I'm just going to say that 2 things yesterday that I thought was really interesting. Melissa Eichenhorst, who is one of our like big diamonds that have been here forever, she was talking on her stories about her favorite product, and her favorite product is the compensation plan. And I was like, I don't often look at it that way, but we need to. And then listening to Celeste Gwynn yesterday, she was saying, you know, I've kind of slowed down on sharing about Plexus. Like, yeah, I show you my pink drink and I'll talk a little bit about that, but I've slowed down on talking about the business because I've gotten comfortable with where I am. And that's selfish. And so when we choose not to share the business, we make that piece about us and not about other people. And we want to really encourage you to just shift that focus. You're probably not even doing it on purpose. Just shift that focus out there towards sharing the business, because that may be the product that is exactly going to fill the need of the person that you're talking to. Even, yeah, okay, we could all use more energy, but who couldn't use more money to fill up their gas tanks?
That's a really good point, because I think it takes our focus from, oh, I don't know if she's going to want to share with me, and just, I think we feel like the moment is never right. Guys, it doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be right for me as a diamond. It doesn't have to be right for you as just starting out or a gold or a senior gold. Just do the ask, right? And it can be as simple as, have you ever considered doing what I do? And just leave the pause there. Leave the pause. Let them answer. And I think the biggest tool in sharing the business is simply just going for the ask. Just ask those questions, right? And then listen carefully, because when you listen, you will hear things that they are seeing. And then that gives you their perspective, takes the complete perspective off of yourself. You're not feeling icky. You're not feeling like you're making them do something. You're listening and you're actually honing into like, wow, I didn't know that about you. Maybe, maybe they didn't have enough money to put their kids into volleyball or whatever it may be that year. Maybe they, there's so many circumstances surrounding finances. Maybe they're missing a community and just really need the people. It can be so many things when we just stop and listen, right?
And as you're talking about that, stopping and listening, when we're so focused on putting people on the right products or choosing, what would be the best way to start somebody? Like, would we go triplex? Would it be better to go triplex advanced? Would it be better to like start with shakes because maybe they're athletes? We are used to asking questions to get down to that level of understanding with people. But what if we really did look at their lives? Like, we're not, as much as we think we're looking at the holistic person, we're really not. We're only looking at the symptoms, right? maybe the reason that this person is dealing with the amount of stress that's causing all of the issues here, and yes, the products can help address and support that, but what if we're introducing another stream of income into their lives, which would actually come up underneath all of that and pull them up even further, minimize that stress, and then their bodies wouldn't be in quite as dire need for all the things, and then the product will actually work better because you're also dealing with the financial stress. So looking at the business as, is this a product that could actually help to serve a need, fill a gap, help them detox something out of their lives, debt, stress, sleepless nights?
Mm-hmm.
Do we really look at that as a solutionary product?
That's so good. And I think one thing is to meet them where they're at, right?
Yeah.
To not just, no one needs to come in and think about, oh, I'm going to be a diamond. If they want that, fabulous.
Mhm.
Run with that person. But if you're just helping someone say, who else do you know that could benefit by these products? It's as simple as that, of gaining them a little bit of traction into the feet of, hey, there's other people that also need what we have. And then we do that naturally. We naturally expound and open our boundaries, so to speak, right? And we make that a platform of where it's natural to share. It's not awkward, it's not weird. I mean, like if there's something at Walmart that your kids really want, some mom says, where'd you get that? That's really cute. You've just shared. It's as simple as that, right? If we don't make it mean anything about ourselves, it becomes really natural because we want it for others. And it can be as simple as just asking questions.
Absolutely. So what if, so I'm thinking as you're talking, I'm thinking about people that are in this group, and not everybody here is maybe making the amount of money that they want to make. They're here to learn how to put themselves into momentum and how to do those business asks. So somebody says, okay, but I'm not making the amount of money that I want to make yet. How do I turn around and present that to somebody else? I might not have the words. What would you use? What would you tell them?
Oh, that's a really good question. The first thing I would ask you is, but that's probably not the amount of money that they are wanting to be making. Their need and their want and their why is going to be completely different from you. So if you're here, say you're a gold and you're making a few $100s a month and covering your product, but you would really love to be a senior ruby at least, that's inspiring to people. Use that piece to ask them to come alongside and say, look, I'm already here. My products are getting paid for. I've shared with so and so many people. These people are also looking at telling their friends. That's exactly the same thing that you could be doing. Share where you are, because it makes it relatable. It makes it seem like anyone, and honestly, anyone in Plexus can share. It doesn't have to be a certain rank. We share right from the beginning, and we just make it normal because this isn't something that we're withholding, and it's not about where we're at, it's about where they want to go.
Yeah. I love how you said that. And I think the really big key that you just said that really resonated with me was when you said that people will be inspired by where you're going. And again, remember back to our day one when we talked about where are you going and how if you want to put yourself into momentum, you need to start going faster than what you are currently, and you need to know where you're headed. People will be attracted to and want to join somebody who has a vision, right? Who has a vision and they know where they're going and they're excited, right? I was an excited silver who brought on people. Marge was an excited silver who brought people on, right? We have been in your shoes where we've gone, I'm not where I want to get to yet, but I believe I'm going to get there, and I want you to come with me. So Marge actually shared this morning and I'll make sure that I put the link below here. Even as people who supposedly, know how to share the business, like in quotation marks, we still use tools to share the opportunity. So can you just tell us a little bit about the video? I'm going to stick the video in the comments. When would you use this? What is it like? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm a firm believer in doing actual business ask. If people have liked my post, if people have commented on my stories, say we have been somewhere or I'm sharing something about what we're doing, and if they comment or ask questions or I'm reaching out to someone, I'm a very firm believer on actually putting it out there that this is my business. And you
Yes.
can say that, like Janelle said, right from silver. You have bought yourself a business. Treat it like one, and people will see it like one. And so I loved going and responding to people and asking, like, have you ever done any direct sales? Like, is that something that interests you? Ask those questions, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be awkward. If people don't want to answer, we change the topic. That's totally good. But I don't ever want to be the expert in the room, because I'm not Plexus. I'm just sharing Plexus. I'm building my life and my dreams. And that's going to look different for everyone. And so if I know something about that person and we've had a conversation and the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to ask, hey, have you ever seen how Plexus is different from other companies? Like, I'm not sure if that's something for you or not. Phil Jones there. But that's really intriguing to people, that you're going to show them other things and not just be the expert. If you're the expert, they're expecting you to do things the way that they would do them. You're not them.
Ooh,
You're
I
just
like that.
representing Plexus. And so I use videos, tools, other people's success stories. I use them as resources to layer the belief of other people, showing them that they could do this. Not how I do it, but rather how it could look if they were sharing. So you don't need to be a certain rank or making certain amount of money. You don't need to be a diamond to attract business people. You need to be representing Plexus and showing how that could look for them. So video, the one that I shared this morning on our follow-up Friday, excellent resource on breaking down in the different ways that we get paid. And honestly, if you struggled ever with this answer, this one lays it out perfectly. Super simple. Just a few tips that you can go and say, like, I never knew that Plexus paid us in so many different ways. Maybe this is something for you. You can even use this on a customer. Maybe this is something that you also didn't know, and share the resource. So that takes the onus off of you. You don't need to be the successful millionaire before you're sharing. You're just sharing from who you are and where you are.
I love that, because and as you're talking about all that, to me, I'm like building this picture of belief, right? We're creating layers of belief for the new person, right? Even before they've come in, because we're not saying, hey, look, I'm the be all and end all. I know all the things. I can teach you the things. Guys, you don't need to do that. In fact, it's way easier to get somebody interested in coming in to share if they realize that they don't have to be you, like Marge said. They don't need to be the authority. They don't need to spend 6 months learning about the comp plan and all of our ingredients and all the whatever. You just say, hey, look, here's all the tools that we're going to use to help you build a business, right? As you are asking them, you're also vision casting for them for how they are going to start sharing with other people, even though they might choose to share different things, but they are going to start using those same tools to do that. And where does this start? It starts with rock solid belief for you, right? We're going to go way back to there. Those 3 pillars of belief: belief in yourself that you can actually accomplish this, belief in our company and our products, and then belief in our profession. So do you have any other thoughts, Marge, before we wrap up this awesome series on how to get yourself into momentum? I feel like this was so good. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I feel like this is just something that you just do. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and wonder, what can I say to her? What if that's not right? I don't know how to say this. Just think the thought and think about the person that you are sharing with, and ask the question. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be all curated and in order. You can figure out things as you go. And that in itself will lead the conversation naturally, and then just go do the ask.
Love it. Love it. Thanks so much, my friend. Guys, thanks for being here with this series. Don't forget to comment below and tag your friends and your team members, anybody that you know here that maybe would have missed the video and they need to jump in and see it. So have a great day, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Here.